Good afternoon, friends. Another important judgment from Calcutta High Court. Diamond Beverages Private Limited. We have seen in GST regime that supplier is not the tax compliant. And we have seen sometime he is not filing his GSTR 3B and not paying the taxes. What department normally do? They comes back to the recipient buyer and want purchasing dealer to reverse credit on the pretext because GSTR 3B is not filed by the supplier. Taxes are not paid by the supplier. सप्लायर ने टैक्स पे नहीं किया, हम सप्लायर को नहीं पकड़ेंगे, हम बायर के पास जाएंगे और बायर से कहेंगे तुम अपनी क्रेडिट को रिवर्स करो, वो भी along with interest and penalty. Submission, an important aspect is GST got introduced on July 1, 2017, right? We have seen GST is evolving. If registration is being given to both of us, to supplier and to the recipient, and if supplier happen to be defaulter, not tax compliant, आप सप्लायर को पकड़िए ना, आप सप्लायर को क्यों नहीं पकड़ते? Supplier is active also, even though department is not initiating any action against the defaulting supplier. I can tell you what happened in this case, then I will give you one live case study also. In this particular judgment which has reached to Honorable Calcutta High Court, petitioner has availed and utilized the ITC input tax credit on the basis of debit note raised by the supplier. And supplier did not file his GSTR 3B, quite obvious, supplier ने tax का payment नहीं किया. Department ने dispute किया. On dispute, this buyer, petitioner, has submitted the reply that he has properly complied all the provision. He has paid the amount to the supplier also. It's a supplier who defaulted. It's a fault of supplier. Pre so-called notice consultation DRC-01A was issued, and this petitioner has responded and provided all the details. What department did? उनने so cause notice दे दिया. Same to same. हाँ, जो reply petitioner ने file की थी, that extracted, that reply they have put up extracted, but they have not considered the reply given by the petitioner. Honorable Calcutta High Court has said that this so-called notice which is being issued without due application of mind by the department, without considering the reply of the petitioner, and without initiating any action against the defaulting supplier. Any inquiry or search could have been initiated against the defaulting supplier, but nothing was done. So this so-called notice is being vacated, set aside, and remanded the matter at pre-so-called notice consultation level for the revenue to initiate. Quite obvious. What Honorable Calcutta High Court wanted, that you go and start inquiry against the defaulting supplier. Now my submission to all of you, and I am sure you all will agree with me. One category, supplier has not filed the 3B, for the past period I'm referring, but somehow their registration is active as on date. If their registration is active as on date, why department want recipient to reverse credit? They can always go back and catch hold of defaulting supplier because his status coming as active even as on date. Second situation, supplier is active and his status, like department sometime issue a certificate about existence of supplier. In one of the case which came up to me, SGST has initiated the action against the petitioner for wrongful availment of credit for the supplier, and supplier happened to be, I can say, whose number is active and his status, whether he is existing at the given address where he has taken the registration, that certificate is also being issued by CGST department. Still, state GST department coming to the petitioner and asking him to the SAC, आपको क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगा. अरे सप्लायर एक्टिव है, सप्लायर का स्टेटस इवन सेंट्रल ने सर्टिफाई किया है कि ही इज एग्जिस्टिंग एट द गिवन एड्रेस. आप फिर भी सप्लायर के अगेंस्ट में एक्शन नहीं ले रहे. आप रिसिपिएंट से कहते हैं कि नहीं, आप रिवर्स करो क्रेडिट. वेयर department going and creating a pressure on the petitioner, on the genuine buyer, recipient. There may be a case that this supplier, again I'm telling you, in a supply chain, there may be some L1 who happen to be taken fake registration, raised the invoices, filed one, did not file 3B, and this credit is flowing to this supplier, fifth position supplier. And fifth position supplier is active and found to be existent as per the certificate. Why you go to the sixth position recipient and buyer to reverse credit? Just because there is some L1 who happen to be fake registration, only raised invoice, did not pay taxes, and it is going to 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and then 5 to 6 position recipient buyer it is coming. But immediate supplier, fifth position, is active and found to be existent. Can you ask sixth position buyer or recipient to reverse credit? You can always go back to the active and existent supplier and cross-check and go to the preceding layer to the extent available for collection of your tax. Definitely yes, but you can't come to the recipient who has got all the documentation for receipt of goods, tax invoice, eBay bill, LR copy, toll tax, movement of goods, everything is there with him. Lorry photo, wigment slip. Supplier has paid taxes to 3B in this case. Even recipient regularly filing GST return 3B. And it is auto-populated in 2A, 2B, but still you want recipient to reverse? Please take action against the defaulting supplier. And when supplier is active, and you're not taking any action against him, how come it is natural justice? Who is stopping you not to go and start inquiry, investigation against the defaulting supplier? आप पकड़िए ना उसको, वो एक्टिव है, वरना कल वो भाग जाएगा. फिर आप रिसिपिएंट को पकड़ेंगे. I'm damn sure this is happening. It's not like that I'm creating example for the sake of example. This is a live case which has come up to me. If it is being asked from me, I can produce the documentation. This is not giving ease of business. And that is not the theme of GST being good and simple tax. I must submit with all due regards and responsibility. Field formation must take cognizance of. Just for the name of inquiry, search, and recovery of taxes, please, there has to be responsibility casted. We cannot create uneasiness in the business, and these are not going correctly for us. And this is my humble submission. With all due regards and respect, there may be some of the officers, those who are not listening, but they have to listen the logical and natural part, natural justice part. Take action against the defaulting supplier who is active, who found to be existent. Recipients should not be asked to reverse credit just on that pretext. And quite obvious, I can only see the transaction with my immediate supplier. Buyer can only see. He can't go beyond and check anything. How we can put responsibility, burden of proof on the recipient for the preceding layer in supply chain who happen to be non-tax compliant. So there are lot many things which is going simultaneously, but we have to find ways and means. We have to ensure that each pie for the government revenue is being protected. I must compliment, must be protected. I'm not here to advocate for the tax evaders. But at the same time, the genuine and honest buyer should not be harassed, should not be put to a condition which is beyond his permissible limit. That is what Calcutta High Court, they have vacated the so-called notice and remanded back the matter to pre-so-called notice label because the recipient replied to the department, given all factual position to the department. Even at the time of pre-so-called notice DRC-01A, he has responded back. Department again without taking the needful action against the defaulting supplier issued the so-called notice. Picking up the extract of the reply but not considering what he is submitting. Is it not violation of principle of natural justice? Look at this Calcutta High Court. A detailed newsletter is being given in the description box. Hope this will help for understanding of GST for all of us together. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.